The next thing we're going to tackle is animating the cursor drawing in a hammer. It's going to use the rectangle tool like this. Let's make sure the stroke color is set to none. We're also going to need to capture this settings panel later for when the tool changes. But for now, let's just handle the actual drawing of the hammer. So we're going to need to recreate this crosshair style cursor here for the rectangle tool. I'll just hit print screen and capture it. Then I'm going to just make a new empty symbol by going to Insert, New Symbol. And we'll call it Cursor Rectangle. And then paste the cursor here inside it. And then I'll just make sure it's centered over the anchor point. Then for that bitmap in the library, let's set its properties so its compression is lossless. Now we'll use the line tool on a new empty layer. We want it black and we want the cap to be none, so it's flat on the ends. Then we just trace over top of the reference image. Actually, it's easier to use a different color to trace. We'll get it as close as we can. I'll use the select tool to move these endpoints just a little. And then select all those lines and change them back to black. Then we'll set the layer underneath to a guide layer so it won't show up out here on the main timeline. Now we need to actually animate the new cursor drawing the hammer. So we need to decide when it should switch to the rectangle cursor. Let's put a keyframe here and do swap symbol to replace it with the rectangle cursor. Then let's leave a couple frame pause and make keyframes for the start and end of the move. And position the cursor so it ends where we want it to start drawing the rectangle. Then I'm going to make a new layer to put the rectangle on. Then quickly, to make the layers easier to understand, I'm going to get rid of generic layer names so we can see which ones are important. Then I'm going to draw in a rectangle to be the head of the hammer. Actually, let me do it with no stroke. And make sure object drawing mode is turned on. Then let's draw two rectangles. This is what our hammer will end up looking like. We're just going to use this as a guide for the cursor arrow for now. So I'm going to set the layer to outline mode. Then let's set the start keyframe for the next cursor move. Then set the end keyframe and move the cursor to the opposite corner. Now let's add the tweens for the two moves we've made. And if I control click frames in each tween, I can apply the same ease in out quad to both of them. The timing needs some adjustment, so I'm going to move these keyframes around. Okay, now let's get the cursor in position to draw the rectangle for the handle. This move will be a little different. If you think about the animator in our video, they need to move the cursor to a very specific spot to draw the handle in the right position, which is trickier to do. So to make the mouse move here look natural, I'm going to make it a series of shorter, more jagged tweens. With onion skinning on, we can see what the path it takes looks like. Then I'm going to adjust the position on all those keys so the motion slows out at the end. Okay, now let's animate drawing the final rectangle. So we'll move the cursor all the way down to the opposite corner, then add the tween and the easing. Let's add some frames to make that take a little bit longer. That's the cursor movement. Now let's actually animate the shapes getting drawn. First, I'm going to put the two rectangles on separate layers. I'll put the second one out here where it should start. Now on the first one, I'll add keyframes to match the start and end of the cursor move. Now we're going to do this just like how we did it back here on the selection rectangle. We need to start the draw on the second frame of the move so we can have a shape tween that matches the easing of the cursor's tween. So I'm going to add a keyframe here and apply the easing. Then I'll move the first key of the rectangle. Then I'm going to turn on onion skinning and adjust it to see just these two keys and make the rectangle starting size the distance between these two positions. Then add a shape tween and set its easing to in-out quad as well. Oh, need to get rid of the rectangle on this frame. I think there's too much of a pause, so I'm going to shift all this forward. So that works, but I'm realizing you can't see the cursor over the black box, so we will need to add a white outline around the cursor. Let's go inside the cursor symbol. Then to do this, I'm going to change these lines into actual rectangle shapes by selecting them all and going up to Modify, Shape, Convert Lines to Fills. Then I'm going to make a new layer underneath and copy all the lines there. Hide the top layer, and then I need to use the ink bottle tool to add a stroke to these shapes. The stroke is so thick at this size that it covers the rectangles, so let's turn the background and the top layers back on. Then to check how this looks, we need to go back out and zoom out to 100% and compare to the real thing. It looks like our stroke is too thick. So back inside, I'm going to select everything and set the stroke size down to 1.5. And then check that. Yep, that looks better. Let's go with that. So now that's much easier to see in our animation. Now we can do the next rectangle shape tween. Set a key on the second frame. Set the easing to in-out quad. Then make keyframes on the rectangle layer that line up. Then use onion skinning to match the starting size of the rectangle to the position of the cursors. Add the shape tween. Ease in-out quad. And that should match up. Good. Let's shorten this pause by a frame. Now let's just make the cursor snap back up and come to rest over here. And I'm going to add in some of those extra keys to give the mouse some wobble. I actually really like how that made the motion look more natural. Then let's make a key where the cursor gets swapped back to the regular arrow cursor. Then we're going to have it move over and grab the hammer. Tween that and add some keyframes for wobble. Now before we animate the hammer, we need to make it a symbol at this point. So add keys on both layers, select both shapes and F8 to make a symbol called hammer. And let's move the anchor point down where the cursor is. That way when we rotate the hammer, it will rotate around that point. Now we need more space on that timeline, so I'll add frames. Then both the mouse and the hammer are going to move, so I'll set some keyframes. Then move them and rotate the hammer. Then let's set the next position. Add tweens. Then for easing, on the first half we'll set them to ease in, and on the second half make them ease out. Adjust the timing a little bit. Okay, that's going to hold for a couple frames and then swing down. So let's set some more keyframes. Then rotate and move the hammer and cursor to the down position. Then I'll set the ease to ease in for that. Then after it hits, it's going to bounce back up, so let's add another keyframe and move it up a little bit. Tween and ease out. Okay, so there's the hammer hitting. And actually there's a pretty big gap between the landing and the hammer, so we can actually move all of this hammer animation forward. Then let's make it a little snappier by reducing the lengths of these pauses. And also removing some frames to shorten some tweens. Okay, that takes care of the hammer. Next, we need to do some work on the stick figure. We need to go back and animate them reacting to the hammer and dodging out of the way. We'll start that process in the next video.